Hey everyone, it's Sam Mackay here from Enterprise DNA. Now, this is a really exciting video for me and for Enterprise DNA, because what we're going to go through is just some of the best Power BI reports I think that you will see out there, and they're all created by those in our community, our amazing community. Some of them have come from Power BI Challenges, some of them have been built internally, some have been built just by our expert group, and I just want to show a compilation of all of these reports so that you can get inspiration. You can creatively expand your mind in terms of what is possible. And this is just something I love showing, because it just shows you the journey that those in our community have gone on and have been able to get to by the collaboration that's been going on within the group, but also just with the upskilling through all of the content and resources we make available. So it also sort of shows you the diversity of what Power BI can do across multiple different data sets, right? So, here we're going to go through some manufacturing data. This one we're going to go through some COVID-19 data. Same here, COVID-19. Here we've got some logistical information. In this particular report, we've got some transport and shipping data. Here we've got some web-based data, JIRA tickets. And here we've got some insurance complaints, and then I was thinking we'd even go into some more. I really just want this to be an amazing showcase of a whole variety of top quality reports, some of the best reports out there, right? And a lot of these are derived from Enterprise DNA's own showcase. A lot of them sit on our showcase, not all of them, but a lot of them do, and are very easy to come and have a play around and utilize yourself and sort of see what is actually possible. But I'm going to take the opportunity in this video to sort of talk through some of them and some of the great functionality that's been built in. One of the things I really like about some of these reports are just dynamic ways you can see information, or summaries of information which are non-standard, right? Like, a lot of us think when we're creating reports that we need to create just use visuals like pie charts and donut charts and bar charts and column charts and scatter charts, etc. But there's actually many ways that you can showcase information effectively, right? Sometimes it can be through dynamic text, sometimes it can be through really simple visualizations. Sometimes it can be done with just cards, right? And just an improvement on your navigation experience. And so here, if you can see here, this is just a very, really, there's nothing actually that complex about what's being done on this particular page, but very informative, right? You've obviously got highlights of your performance there. So there's obviously some ranking techniques which have been embedded into the report, and then just some high level trend information, so whoever's evaluating this can really understand quite quickly if there's some outliers or if some sort of trend has changed, right? And then I like some of these navigation experiences as well. Like, instead of like clicking certain slices and certain visuals, it's about just using bookmarks in this case to change what the visualization looks like on the click of a button or of some sort of element in the page. And so instead of using the sort of native drill through and ways that you can drill down and drill up through the actual visual itself, I think this is it's a far cleaner way, right? It's a far cleaner way to actually evaluate this sort of information. So a nice little trick there that I think really deserves showcasing, right? Like, there's so many different ways that you can tell a story now, that you can allow consumers to navigate through your particular reports. And I also like how the menu bar at the top has been used, but in combination with other ways that you can navigate. So it's always like dual menu bars, right? We've got a menu bar here, we've got some slices up here, but there's no drop downs or anything like that. This is actually created by Moodasir, one of our Enterprise DNA experts, and one of the best suggestions I think he had in a recent masterclass that we ran with him is that you want to try and avoid having any slices on the page. Try and avoid as much as you possibly can having a slicer or some sort of like drop down filter. Try and think how you can dynamically tell the story in a report page and allow the user to use the native filtering, etc., that they can use by clicking on visuals instead, right? Or just break out what you show in a particular in report pages based on when like those dimensions. So in this particular case, we've decided to jump into vendors, materials, plants. So instead of having those in a drop down, we've had them in different pages and then the relevant information based on that. Okay. Also, the background design is really superior here. So I really, it's just super compelling. Mudasir is a design guru around what can be done with Power BI. I love this little Microsoft pop-up box here that's been used as well. You can just click on that. I think that's obviously been inspired by your own the Windows operating system, which is super cool. And so instead of so he's used some slices here, right? But the thing is, they're in a pane, so that it doesn't actually take up room inside of your report. You just come down through here, and you can make your selections like so inside of the pane here, and then you can click out like so if you need to. Okay, and then there's a refresh button here as well. Just love that functionality. Okay, so I've spent a bit of time on this one, but I mean, this is an amazing report. It truly is an amazing report. Just the ways that you can, review the information so quickly. It's so quick and effective. There's no ambiguity with this particular report, right? What what the developer wants you to see is very easy to see and understand, okay, and extract the information. But on top of that, layered on top of that is just this amazing design. Simple colors, great backgrounds, just effective all round. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this one was done by Alex, one of our enterprise DNA experts, and I just love the functionality here. I mean, this is this is all looks like one page, right? But there's actually so many little things embedded into this that enable you to discover data in many different ways. So obviously you actually have a simple drop down slicer here, so we can select a different country here like so, but that makes sense because this particular the story that was wanting to be told here was trying to understand how particular countries are going in the pandemic, right, when this data was out. So you can select countries there, but there's also some high-level information based on key important things that might be of interest to a particular consumer. So here we have, and the way that you can navigate to them is so unique. So we have here some hotspots, but what you can do is click on these links here, and it actually brings you up some other key information. And this is all dynamic, by the way. Because if you change the time frame, these will all change based on that time frame. And so embedded in here is sort of like a ranking system that only gets showcased when you actually click on the element inside of the report. I mean, this is just so epic how this has been done. And you can get rid of them very easily with that click in here. So that is just being done with bookmarks. It's being done with bookmarks and the selections pane inside a Power BI desktop, and then those bookmarks are getting called when you actually click on these particular elements inside of the report, inside of this particular report. Also, like here, how the simple pop-up, this again is just bookmarks and selection panes. So whenever you click on that, this particular thing appears, and so you can actually change a lot of things around inside of these visualizations just by moving these, right? And then these will take a little while to update, but it's really utilizing these as a dynamic filter for the scatter charts that you've created, that we've got created here. So amazing functionality, right? Tells a really, really good story very, very effectively. Here is another one where the thing I like about this particular one in a lot of cases is obviously there's some great information, but the use of tooltips is what I love the most about this particular report, is that instead of having like page after page after page, there's been a great amount of summary done inside of tooltips, so that when you sort of dynamically work around the page, you can sort of see the information that's key to that particular region in this case. So in other cases, in other examples, you might use like drill through functionality or something like that. But if you think more creatively, you can sometimes just utilize these tooltips, right? And tooltips is a great new functionality inside of Power BI. You can use these tooltips to really create the summary on the same page in the same experience. And it's so easy to actually just like land on or just scroll through and use the mouse to actually go to a different element on the report and then bring up all of the key information for that. So it prevents the user from having to go to a new page or do any additional selections or anything like that, right? They don't need to come to a slicer and select like a particular country. They can literally just go around the page and it brings up all of the key information just like that. So the data discovery is so quick and effective, right? So that's what I like about this one. And again, these are, by the way, all of these are on the Enterprise DNA Showcase. So you can really like have a look at the possibilities and explore a lot of this functionality for yourself as well. This one I love just from its navigation experience. Like it looks like this full-blown application. One of the best looking and sort of look and feels to a Power BI report that I've ever seen. Like when you actually experience this in full screen, right? I mean, this honestly looks like someone's built this really intensive application, and the unique ways that you can sort of click through and see certain elements of your data so quickly is, I mean, it's just really compelling, super compelling, right? And then you can jump through this menu bar. This was actually created by a team of Enterprise DNA experts. I think Moodasir was one of the brought a lot of the design aspects to it, but just the ability to, again, just seamlessly click through. And how this is done is actually quite simple. Like a lot of the this is quite a comprehensive report of maybe like 12 to 13 pages, but they're all the pages are hidden, and you can only go to the page when you actually select the appropriate element in the menu bar or in the side panel here, right? And so that to me is the best way to create that all-encompassing experience. It really brings the consumer into your report, into your insights. It doesn't confuse them with some navigation experience on the page, but then some navigation experience by clicking on a page through like a drop down. You want to keep it really consistent, and I think the way to go is to always like separate out your navigation experience as part of the way you visualize. So you have your visualizations, but then you've got to layer some compelling navigation experience on top of that. Okay, then we have this one. This is by Hussein, who is just an Enterprise DNA member and has obviously become incredibly talented, which I'm really, really proud of. And I really love this because of just the way it looks. Like, again, it's sort of like a website, really, a website with dynamic information in it. I like some of this dynamic text down the bottom here, and then a menu bar up the top. So taking inspiration, I think, from some of the past challenges, which is great. And I just like the experience here, right? So there's some simple, like there's not like complex filtering that you can do here. It's literally just clicking on elements of this, and this is going to produce the filters that on the data, so that we can see all the key information, and then we can jump to different pages really, really easily. One of the things that I would improve here, and what I just mentioned, is that you see here that you can actually select by pages here as well. But what I would do is I would just hide those pages. I would literally hide them, so that the only way you could get to here was by clicking through this menu bar. So that is really like a case in point of what I just said. But to me, in terms of just like the way that this is structured and the way that this looks, it is always going to be compelling for your stakeholders, and they're going to want to return to this because it produces the insights they want, but they can see it in a really compelling way. Okay, so this one is, again, I really like the menu bar and the experience here. Again, there's some like really nice tricks here, like this toggle, which can enables you to see like different insights by just toggling. And the way that is done is, again, just through bookmarks and the selection pane. And so you can hide and show certain things. And I can do the same for here. So I really just like the flexibility when you just think a bit more creatively about what you do there. And there's a really simple menu bar here that's been created, which has, if you want to just do like this month or this quarter, etc., which is quite common. So, again, it's just like a lot of these can be done in a simple way, but a lot of these can be done in a more creative way, which I think is just better. And I think looking through these examples is a good way to understand, lots of different ways you can do things. Okay, so I'll just click on this one, and just there's dynamic text here. It's not all visuals. There's hardly any visuals in this particular report. It's very, very limited, right? Very, very simple. It's just a matter of you can change the time frame, and all of these insights are going to dynamically change, which is really nice, really neat. Okay, last one I think I'll show here, and then we could go through a few more. I'll just see how we go after this one. But this is actually one that I've designed completely myself, and one that I spent quite a bit of time on. But I got inspiration for the navigation and the design from elsewhere, but I just embedded it into a Power BI report. I think I was looking at like a website, a web portal, and I said we can do that in Power BI, and I basically just tried to replicate a lot of the functionality. And again, I've hidden all the report pages so that the consumer and the user of this can only literally navigate to the pages that I want them to navigate, and they have to navigate the way that I want. And so you see here that they can click through another menu bar that I put up the top, but I've also got a left-hand side panel here that they can click through to different elements that make sense as well. I've got a settings page here as well, where you can set up some settings, and I've gone and synced the slices to each other page, so someone doesn't have to. And this is another great technique, is sync slices. So you can set some global slices here, and all of those slices will apply to the rest of the page. And because those slices aren't actually seen on each different page, I'm just more descriptive in terms of what I actually what those slices are actually showing. So what we're actually showing in a report page. So like if I change the slicer in the settings, like this would change, and then someone who is reviewing this would know the exact time frame that this is over. I've also utilized some tooltips here, which again, really, when you combine, instead of having this in a separate visual taking up room in my report, all it takes is someone to hover over there, and you can see the insight, right? Same here. There's some insights that I've summarized. Instead of doing a drill through, I've just showed them on a tooltip. Okay, so there is many others. Some of these other ones, like as we go down, this optical data one, love this one by Melissa. This one here, this has got a unique page turning feature to it, which is great. I really like this one as well. Like, you can keep things simple too, and they can still look compelling. Like, even though I've gone through a number of best practices on this particular video, you can still make really smart designs, really easy to engage, like really easy to understand and engage with from a stakeholder perspective, right? So a simple date filter up the top, and then I've created some groups that we might want to filter by in this particular report, right? And because those groups were a very big part of how I wanted to showcase the story, or the story that I wanted to tell in this particular report, I made those a main feature of the menu, right? Instead of maybe creating a menu of like regions or customers or something like that, I've said, okay, I want to group my customers into these like custom groups, and I want that to be the main story that I tell here, or the main way that I want someone to experience my report. And that's how I decided to build this sort of menu bar into the top here. Well, this is just honestly a slicer that I've made horizontal, so it's actually really not that difficult. Okay, so again, check out Enterprise DNA Showcase for many more. There's things like stock dashboards, advertising campaigns, inventory analysis, financial reporting. I mean, this report here is fantastic as well. I'll just jump to this one just quickly, because this this is a compilation video, so so the more cool stuff I can show you, the better, I guess. So I've created a really simple navigation area here, and what you can do is you can jump to the relevance page, just like that, right? You can jump to the relevant page. I think I've embedded go back to the home page just in the logo itself. And this is just an amazing, like, this is a financial reporting application, right? Just so much insight embedded into this one report. It's absolutely crazy what you can fit into one report, compared to what you could do historically. And the fact that it's dynamic and automated is just unbelievable, really. Okay, that's it. I'll call it a day. There's plenty more for you to review yourself as you work through here. Plenty more amazing showcases and designs, and many more to come as well. We're constantly developing and evolving our methodology and the way that we think about Power BI development, especially with a lot of these new features that are coming out. It's quite extraordinary. We can take things now. I was amazed at what Power BI was like 5 years ago, and even now I'm more amazed. Like it is just like gone beyond my expectations about what's possible. So hopefully these types of things gets you excited as well. I certainly hope it does. I love talking about it and love showcasing the amazing efforts and reports and applications that those in our community are building. Okay, I'm going to round off. I really enjoyed going through that one. I think we went through sort of 8 or 9 great reports there, and so as I said at the start, hopefully this will grow your creative mind around what you can do inside of Power BI. Okay, take care. All the best. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Enterprise DNA TV. If you enjoyed the content covered in this particular tutorial, please throw the video a like. It really helps us, and we really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Enterprise DNA TV channel. We have a huge amount of content coming out all the time from myself and a range of content creators, all dedicated to improving the way that you use Power BI and the Power Platform. Lastly, check out Enterprise DNA's website. Plenty of resources and further learning that you can access very easily. All the best. Take care.